Marlene Danielle Symington, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That is part of my story. Well, his story, but I'm just a character. I used to work at a place called Joe's Crab Shack, and I had a friend who was moving to Texas, and her grandmother had told her, she wanted her away from what was going on in Baton Rouge at the time. So she looks at me and she just randomly, she's like, "Hey, do you want to move with me?" And I'm like, "What? I can't leave my home. This is everything I know." A few weeks had passed by and just things weren't going good at all back home. No matter how much I worked, I just couldn't seem to save money. I had issues with drinking all the time. The people that I thought were my friends weren't my friends. Just everything under the sun that you could say went bad. So I literally was like, okay, you know what? I can't do this anymore. So I told her, I was like, hey, I'm just going to come out there. And, I packed up me and Mason and got a U-Haul and we just kind of, we booked it here. And, I knew coming out here was literally going to be a step out of faith because I knew nobody but her. Didn't even know, if I was going to have a job coming out here. But I knew that it had to be something better than what I was dealing with. So May 24th, 2014, we came to Texas. And during that time, before I started to get to know people, it was kind of like I missed my home. I cried almost every day. I called my sister. I talked to my mom, just anybody, and I thought back and forth. Maybe I should just move back home. Maybe this was a mistake. But it just seemed like every time I thought about going back home, I would hear something bad going on, or somebody wasn't doing right, or just anything in general that was negative about Baton Rouge at that time was not, it was making me not want to be there. So I finally decided, okay, you need to find a good church home. You need to find something that's going to keep you out of trouble, but not lonely. So it was around October and trick or treating time. I didn't really want to take Mason out anywhere I didn't know. Obviously, my friend was here, but it was, I wanted to try something different. So I knew the Boys Ranch was doing I guess, a game thing, or it was like games and prizes and stuff. So I let him dress up when we came here. Now, before that, I'd actually tried a couple of churches, but they weren't really speaking to me the way that I felt like, what I've heard, what people are like, you know it when you feel it. Pastor, and I think it was Brandon and Pastor that they were running their booth, and he said, "Hey, do you want to try, come to Freedom Church?" And I said, "Well, it wasn't Freedom, it was Cornerstone." But I said, "Okay, sure. Where is it?" And he goes, "It's here." And I'm like, "In the gym?" So I decided to try it, and the first thing I walked in, people were hugging me, and I'm just like, "Why is everybody wanting to hug on me?" And the first thing most people said was, "We just want to love on you." And we got there, and they welcomed us like literally with open arms. Mason was able to go into the kids' room, and I'm just like, "You don't have to pay for nothing, or you don't have to." There's like no, and I mean, he was real comfortable with it, and he's not real comfortable with a lot of stuff. So I got there and I got to listen to what Pastor was saying, and it was pretty awesome. I mean, it was like falling in love, and I never knew that you could fall in love with a sermon, but I guess when it comes from God's words to my ears, it's a different feeling. So started coming, and I was like, I really love this. Like, I liked hearing what was going on. I liked the way that the sermons were set up. It was just crazy because when I moved here, I talked to God, which I do all the time, and I literally put it down on paper what I needed in the church home. I needed something close because I didn't have a car. I needed something that was like non-denominational, more focused on relationship with Christ and actual religion. I needed something that was most of the people around my age, so I could understand, or they could understand what was going on. And it seemed like God just handed me the church, literally handed it to me and said, "Here you go. This is what you wanted. This is what I'm giving you." And I became a member, and that's it's been like that since. So I love it. He loves it. He he loves the fact that he can be himself. He can sing. He's learning about God a lot more than I thought that I could ever teach him. He's learning. He's meeting new friends. He's just experienced something that not a lot of kids get to experience. I talked to my brother last night. Me and him, we kind of had a rocky relationship growing up. He as a teenager, you try to think that you know everything, and I, went and lived with them, him and his wife, for a little while. And I was like 15 or 16, and you know, teenager, older brother. He's trying to be a dad, but I'm trying to tell him, so it was a real bad rocky relationship. We stopped speaking for like after I moved out. We stopped speaking for a couple of years, and it was bad. So, I always thought that he was judging me, and I always thought that it was he was just trying to tell me how to live my life. When really, I realized that he was just wanting me to be better and do better than what most people he's seen doing. So yesterday I was talking to him, and he was just asking me how things are going since I've been out here. And first thing he says, "Do not move back to Baton Rouge." Don't not me, and I don't want people thinking that Baton Rouge is a horrible place. It's just I know when it doesn't matter what place it is. If you're not in a good spot, it's gonna be like not good for you. So, but he told me yesterday that he was proud of me, and that was the first time he's told me that in a long time, and it made me feel good. Not having his approval, but the fact that I could do something that he was proud of, but I know it was nothing but God that did it for me. So just that made me feel really good. So he just told me, stay here, keep doing what I'm doing. Don't let anybody interrupt my peace. Just keep doing what I'm doing. And I told him it's not me doing it. It's nothing but God. It's nothing but my relationship with Christ. When I speak to people about what's going on, that's the Holy Spirit speaking through me. That's not me. So I just tell people this isn't my story. It's his. I'm just a character.